How to Create a Glitch Monologues Season 21 Chapter 5. This is Season 21 of How to Create a Glitch in the Matrix Monologues Episode 5. In this episode, we will be drawing together a few episodes, namely Episode 3 of Season 15, Episode 4 of Season 13 and Episode 4 of Season 21. In Season 13 Episode 4, we discuss how the transition from non-consensuality to consensuality, or from consensuality to non-consensuality, provides an opportunity for a retrocausal event. The reason for this is that time runs distinctly for non-consensual actors from our consensuality. Now, this occurs, not in an objective sense, but in the sense that our conscious stream of action flows in proximity to theirs, not sharing the same objective reality, but existing in a distinct experience of reality. Such differences in the flow or rate of time permits the creation of the retrocausal. In Episode 3 of Season 15, we talk about how a P to S wave ratio determines when our consensuality expands or contracts. Essentially, the point was that excess S waves causes our consensuality to contract into our non-consensual reality, which causes us to take outs from the environment. These outs become necessary due to the increase in adrenaline in the body, which promotes a flight or fight response. The adrenaline buildup is mediated by the enteric nervous system as the receiver of P waves and S waves. Thus, our recent episodes discussing examples of retrocausality reveal something important about our consensual and non-consensual reality. In the example given of the driving trip, and seeing the bumper sticker which reads "Ground Zero," the car passing at high rate of speed, by expressing a meaningful communicative action of superiority, imposes deference. That is, they become the tonic and ourselves the dominant. We receive S waves as a result of this conformation, which causes our consensuality to contract. This contraction leads to the substitution of our non-consensuality. The flow of the thought chain from a recent memory of communication with a friend, during which the offhand comment was made about nuclear war, represents the flowing of our consciousness from an internal state of consensuality to one which is non-consensual. Now, we can also observe that the driver in the speeding vehicle is functioning with a higher rate of adrenaline production, maintaining the consensual expectation field despite greater risk. Thus, we can see that the substrate level of adrenaline in one's system determines the rate at which we produce S waves. This makes sense, since higher rates of adrenaline production mirror sympathetic nervous system activation. This flipping of consensuality to non-consensuality mirror the transition from an internal state to one which is initiated by the anchor cause, in fact, seeing the image of the bumper sticker on the neighboring vehicle. Since we also know that it is the consensuality which preserves in us a distinct introspective space for contemplation, and that non-consensuality results in the loss of this space, we can see that the retrocausal thought chain represents the penetration of our mind with externalities. In effect, the puncturing of that internal space occurs by the anchor cause, in fact, which terminates our internal thought chain, which ostensibly began with the proximate cause. This is consistent with my earlier statement that there is no distinction between the substance of thought and materiality. That our reality is oriented around us by our ego, preserved by our consensuality. Thus, retrocausal thoughts represent the collapse of subjectivity, its involution, and substitution of a consensual reality with a non-consensual one. All of this is mediated by the excess of S waves sent by the accelerating vehicle's occupants, mediated by the enteric nervous system, and the intuition of the body and brain. That's the end of the podcast for today. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment and subscribe.